Call to order our work session this evening. We'll start off with recognizing members of the administration that are present.
Mayor Jamie Slutz. Assistant Law Director Edmund Mack. City Engineer Alex Pitts.
Here.
Director of Development Ted Hernkane.
Here.
Police Chief Jason St. Noy.
Here.
And Income Tax Budget Director Lori Katagides-Boron. Here. That's it, President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Diane. And let the record show that we have 7 members of council present, minus Councilwoman Cunningham and Councilman Markham. Okay, let's start off with community development. Councilwoman Creamer.
Thank you, Mr. Gregg. I have nothing for community development.
Okay. Let's go to economic development with Councilman Ray, just in time.
Hey, better on time to be super late, right?
That's right.
No, I have nothing for economic development today.
Okay. Next, health, welfare, and building regulations. Anybody on Sarita's committee have anything? I don't think there was any.
Nothing this evening.
Yeah, we have nothing there.
All right, Parks and Recreation, Councilwoman Harvick Smith.
Thank you, Councilman Gregg. I have nothing this evening for Parks and Recs.
Police and Fire, Councilman Lewis.
Yes, Seth is unable to be with us tonight. However, we do have one piece if the chief would like to come forward. It looks like it is in a prayer legislation to accept a donation of $3,000 from Grief paper to the police department for the police department to use whatever they need for operational.
Good evening. We have been, grateful to accept a check. It's up to you guys to approve us to actually take that into, or have that deposited. It's for $3,000 for, I think, the past 5 years before my tenure as chief. Grief Packaging, who's a local business who's been here for quite a long time, contributes to the community in a lot of different ways, has gifted these checks to the fire department and the police department. I'm not sure if they do for any other departments, but we work with them quite a bit, the safety forces, because of the size of their plant and their operation. And I think that Chief Heck has already requested the acceptance of his check. We got ours a little later, and so I was hoping that you guys would allow us to deposit that and put it to good use for the department.
All right. I have a follow-up. Is it just circumstance or just coincidence, that we also then have an appropriation coming through at finance for $3,000 for supplies? Is that kind of
Correct.
process?
Correct, yes.
So we're just going to, in here, we're going to accept the donation, and then the finance, we're just going to approve it for supplies and materials, just to help you guys with whatever department needs you need.
Yes, sir, that is my request.
All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's under finance. Oh. Police and fire. I missed that one. Sorry. Go ahead. Go to the second one.
The $500 request is from an account where we've accepted donations over the past few years to put towards our yearly event, National Night Out. Last year it was rained out, and so we still have funds sitting in there. And we've actually built a decent surplus, but the 2 young ladies that are with the police department that are really doing a lot of the legwork are going to use that $500 to buy supplies for the event itself, which is coming up at the beginning of August. So with your acceptance, we would like to withdraw that $500 and utilize it.
And then likewise, we have the finance piece that's
Yes, sir.
coming alongside of it. Any more questions? Am I missing anything? All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Lewis. Next, we have Public Utilities Environmental, Councilwoman Brian Huth.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. We have one piece this evening. If I could ask the city engineer, Mr. Pitts, to join us. He'll speak on it. It is a lighting project for Millennium Boulevard, and he can tell us some more.
Good evening, Council. Yes, so this is just a street lighting project along Millennium Boulevard down to Prospect. So the street lighting It's been a concern for the businesses along Millennium for a couple of years now, so we're just trying to move forward on providing lighting for those businesses and residents that utilize Millennium Boulevard, so.
Is this initial lighting? Has lighting been done in the past and it's being
So-
redone?
So this is the initial for this, within the limits of the
Area.
project, yes. So,
Does anybody else have any questions? Julie?
Thank you, Councilman Hope. So is this is by Shears, so how far does this go on Millennium Boulevard?
To
Is this the
Prospect.
part where we're doing the road to? Or the-
Yeah, so
the
it basically, it's from the end of Millennium all the way like near 30 to Prospect
Navarre
Drive.
Road? Or is
Yeah,
it-
No, so I thought it was Prospect. I thought, I left a sheet over at my floor, on the floor, so.
So it's this is all for streetlights?
Yes, it's all for streetlights, that is
Okay.
correct. So,
And these funds are coming from,
so the various TIFs within the vicinity, so the 1422 and the 1431,
so one's the Shear Food Structure TIF? And
yeah,
then
yes, and then I think the other one is.
Baker Hughes
Yes, Baker
Infrastructure?
Hughes.
Is that a TIF?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And we did double check that we were able to utilize those TIFs within the area, and we are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, Mr. Harrington, but I believe the Baker Hughes TIF is the more restrictive of the two, so
And we're approved.
we're trying to take more of that one and then doing the rest with the Shears, TIF, so.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Packley?
Thank you, Mrs. Hi. So what's the cost going to be to, because then the city pays the electric bill for that lighting, correct?
Yeah, we have,
Once-
mhm.
Do we have a guesstimate? How many lights do you think will be installed?
So I could give you that, like I said, I left the plan
Okay, that's
literally
fine.
on the floor. I want to say there's 6 or 7. I mean, like I said, I can give you an exact amount
That's it?
of.
It's only about
street
6 or
lighting.
7 street
Yeah.
lights?
We have the conduit and everything, the linear foot of conduit that I can give you as well, but I have no idea why I left that
I
plan
didn't
on
know if
the-
it was 20, 50
ground over there,
streetlights
so.
or just 7 roughly?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
I could give you that exact number within,
okay, if you want.
oh,
All right, thanks. That's it.
Councilwoman Hargus Smith?
Is Baker Hughes located right by there too?
yeah, yeah.
It's right, okay, because
Vicinity.
Sheriff's TIF has just so much more money in it, and I can see on the map that they're real close to there.
Yeah, the reason, like I said, the reason why we were using Baker Hughes was because of being the more restrictive fund, and since it is applicable to this project, we'd like to use the more restrictive fund.
That way,
Thank you.
that makes sense.
Exhaust that one first and then use the more, yeah. So,
So,
Councilwoman Creamer?
so can you explain again what the concern was for the businesses in this area? Are they all operationally 24/7? Is it a security issue? Is it, what was the concern?
safety concern and lighting concern. So, like I said, I can pull up the emails that I have. I have various emails from the businesses along that Millennium, and a lot of it is the lighting. So we had met with First Energy out there, and, oh, man, like I said, this was a while ago. So about a year ago or so, regarding this project, and the concern was safety and lighting. I mean, there's literally no streetlights back there as you're heading towards the businesses, so, and especially when it's snowy out and everything, I mean, that it can get windy, and it's beneficial to have street lighting. I mean, if you can't see.
I get that, there's a lot of residential areas, there's a lot of, rural areas that don't have street lighting. I just didn't know, like, if those businesses operated 24/7, and the majority, are coming in for the late shift, and that's where the safety concern driving on the street was. I just needed clarification on that.
Yeah, and I can get you their hours of operation. I don't know that off the top of my head. I would imagine that they are coming in and when, street lighting would be needed. Otherwise, I figured they wouldn't, so.
Any other questions, Mr. Ray?
Thank you, Ms. Hoot. Question, what was my question? Oh, so the block length by it being 7 lights is probably what, like 2 blocks a block?
That's-
It's on both sides of the street,
so-
pretty much, right?
Yeah, I actually have it right here, so I can count. 1, 2.
Okay, I'm looking at it on the map right now. I see that stretch. I believe I know there's a lot of people who work there, and typically they walk to the bus stop, and the bus stop is right at the corner on the end, and it's completely pitch black on that street.
Yeah.
So that would be the safety, I would think.
Correct. And all of the lighting would be on the east side of the road as well, so. Yeah, the plans were drafted by First Energy. We have a cost from them, and then we have a separate cost for light item, for conduit, and et cetera. So First Energy would be installing the streetlights, and we would be hiring the contractor to run the conduit to those streetlights, so that's how it's going to work.
Any other questions or discussion? No. Thank you, Mr. Pitts.
Thank you.
That is all for Public Utilities and Environmental.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Rules, Courts, and Civil Service. That's my committee. We have nothing for this evening. Next is Streets, Highways, Traffic, and Safety. Councilman Packley.
Nothing new at this time. I would like to say everyone who's been on the west side, Lincoln Way is getting paved. Tremendous. It's great, well needed. A lot of the west siders are very pleased. Thank you.
Good. Okay, and finally, Finance. Councilman Lewis.
Yes, the first 2 pieces we've already kind of gone over. That's the National Night Out donation, the $3,000 from Grief for supplies and postage. The next one we have is please prepare legislation to appropriate from the unappropriated balance of the Capital Improvement Fund, $10,916.16 for lease purchase police cruisers. This fund requested have been deposited or from the sale of decommissioned cruisers. Revenue will be used for outfitting newly purchased cruisers with equipment. I just have one quick question. I'm assuming maybe for the chief.
Yes, sir.
So we have new cruisers on their way.
We actually just took possession of our final new cruiser, good Lord willing, for this year. We've had a couple of cruisers that were lost, total losses due to accidents.
Okay.
But we just picked one up today, and we were looking to get the equipment to
That
outfit
goes in
it.
it. So it's not outfitted yet. It's just, is it?
In the process.
Okay. So it's
Yeah,
basically decaled out and that's about it?
Well, I hope they decal it out soon, but yes, it'll be decaled out, and then as soon as we get it back from the decal shop, we will, we transfer over a lot of equipment from our decommissioned cruisers, especially if they're the same make and model, like the cage, the light bar. We salvage whatever we can and put it to use if it still works. But there are some things that just don't transfer over that we need to, purchase and put in there.
What make are we using?
We're now with Dodge.
Oh, that's what I thought.
We have transferred from Fords. We lost our ability to get Fords in a timely manner during COVID. In fact, they canceled 6 cruisers that we had ordered over the course of 18 months. And not only did they cancel, they never gave us a date when we asked them when they could fulfill the request. They said, well, never. We canceled them. We can't provide them to you. So Dodge guaranteed us cruisers in a timely manner, and we've had a good connection with them over the past few years.
Anybody else have- Mr. Gregg?
Just curious, how many do we have on the street now?
Cruisers total?
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Roughly.
So I just counted we have 6 Fords left over. 3 of them are utilized for the SROs to take to the schools every day when school's in session. 1 is used as a car for traffic details and jobs where they're sitting idling at an intersection, like on Lincoln Way West, where they're paving when they need a cruiser. And then we have 3 that are actually in our fleet. So we have 101, which is a pickup truck. 102 is a supervisor vehicle. 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112. And then we have 2 Ford K9 cars, 1 Dodge K9 car, and 1 Ford Traffic car. So I don't have enough fingers to clean that math up, but,
15, 16.
yeah, we're actually in a really good position right now. I'm hoping that, like I said, we're fully outfitted with all the cars that we need at this point in time.
And how many canine officers do we have?
We have 3. We have one
All
on
three
each
of-
shift. Yeah, one on each shift. This is the first time in the entirety of my career that we've had one on every shift. So days, nights, and noons has a canine at their disposal to use for barricaded subjects, drug sniffs. They're trained to track. We've used them to help track people that have, elderly folks at night that have wandered off the grounds at assisted living places. So they're a great tool, and we don't have to call. Many times we've had to call other jurisdictions, and if they don't have a canine on, we're kind of stuck. So we're in a really good spot right now. We're 2 officers away from being fully staffed totally, so.
Thank you.
Ms. Hardwick-Smith.
Thank you. So how many officers are like out on the streets now for like each shift? What are we at?
So I couldn't give you an exact number, but we have our minimum safety net. I will tell you, we're over our minimum safety net on a daily basis. So
Which
for
is-
instance, on day shift, a minimum safety net would be 4 patrolmen and at least 1 supervisor for a total of 5. Day shift is a little bit of a different animal because we have all of our administrative staff there. So if we had a critical incident, everyone's leaving their desk and going to that. Midnights doesn't have that. So we try to keep at least a minimum of 5 patrolmen on midnights and 1 supervisor, so they have an extra body. Afternoon shifts minimum is 6 patrol officers and 1 supervisor. I would say 3 of the 7 days, there's 2 supervisors on, so that also adds an extra person to the shift. They're in a supervisory role, but they're still there. They're on the road. They're in full uniform patrolling. They use that Cruiser 102. 101 is the pickup truck. You guys have probably seen it. 102 is a marked supervisor car. So when you hear of an officer saying, I need a supervisor at the scene or something, that car is usually heading to the scene to be there in a supervisory role. But yeah, many days we're over, well over, so by 2 or 3 people. I'm hoping that reflects at the end of the year when we.
So we're not having as much overtime now? We're not
You
getting?
took the words right out of my mouth. By the end of the year, I'm hoping that reflects
Which that should
in our budget
really-
with our overtime coming down. Yeah. From 2022, I just got an end-of-month report for our sick time use, and I'm going to tie this all in so you understand why I'm bringing up sick time, is in 2022, when I took over and we were down to 32 people, people were being forced 2 or 3 times a week to stay over and work a double shift. That's 16 hours on the road, go home, get some sleep, get cleaned up, come back. I was seeing a lot of sick time use. People were taking off sick because they needed a break. Now, whether they were sick or not, I would hope they were really sick, but they were definitely sick of work. And so we're, at this point from 2022, we're 1,000 hours less of sick time use. So I'm hoping at the end of the year that our overtime numbers are down. I've been harping on bodies will bring that down, so hopefully it comes to fruition in numbers.
Thank you.
Mr. Ray?
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Question, I know that, we noticed that the decals are, we have the white cars, those are the Fords, correct?
Correct.
And then the black ones, is that gonna be the new
They're yeah.
trend? Because I was like, whoa, it's 2 of them.
They're
Showing those
gunmetal
switch
gray is what we call them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So, but yeah, so they're like a darker color, and they do have a wrap that has white on them. We've tried to keep, we have some yellow on them. We wanted them to be noticeable, but we wanted them to be different, something that the officers kind of helped put that together, and they like the idea of the traditional black and white cruisers, but we kind of put a new spin on it. And
Yeah,
we've got
looks
a lot
good.
of compliments.
Looks good.
So, but we're hoping within the next, at the beginning of the year, we'll order 2 more cruisers, and we will replace the 2 Fords that are in our active patrol fleet, and we'll have 1 white car left in the active patrol fleet. The other white cars, which are the Fords, we're going to suck every bit of mileage out of them as we can. I mean, they're paid for by taxpayer dollars. In fact, one just got dropped off today for a recall. It's getting a brand new engine. We're going to have them put a brand new engine in it, and we're going to keep using it for SRO cars and everything else. So, but yeah, the plan's to have them all the same color within the next year or so.
All right. Thank you so much. The next piece we have is related to everything he just said, so just an appropriation of the general fund for $6,000, and this is so that we can do entrance exams and pre-employment tests for both police and fire. Any questions?
one that says service and contracts?
For $6,000?
Yeah, it just says finance, so that is for police and fire?
Mm-hmm. Am I wrong?
Oh, no.
Well, that's what it'll be used for, but it's actually going into the civil service.
Yeah, it's going into the civil service, but it'll be used for police and fire, entrance exams, and pre-employment tests. The next piece we have is please prepare legislation to appropriate from the unappropriated balance of the forfeited funds to the following account: $3,150 for professional dues. This is a payment that we have to make to the Ohio Supreme Court. It's for the fees for the attorneys of the Massillon Law Department. We do make this fairly regularly. If I am correct, forfeited dues or forfeited fund is money that we are collecting anyways from various offenders. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So if someone has a court cost or a fee associated with whatever brought them to court, that's this money anyway. So you're using the money that they're gaining from prosecuting people to then turn around and pay the fees that they owe Ohio Supreme Court. Anybody have any questions? All right. And then I got a couple more left. Please prepare an ordinance to appropriate from the unappropriated balance of the 1213 Lincoln Way Streetscape Fund to Streetscape Service and Contracts, $10,432. So this is money that we already had in the Lincoln Way Streetscape money, and now we're just appropriating it, and this is for the maintenance of the streetscape. I'll just ask a general question. We don't necessarily have to come up. Do we have anything special coming in, or is it just general maintenance? Yeah, that's fine.
It's for general maintenance. I'm sorry, a little bit loud there. It's for the general maintenance, more or less, to keep the upkeep in the middle section down there. It is in that specific fund, which only can be used for streetscape projects. So we're going to exhaust that fund and use it all for the maintenance.
Yes, Ms. Harwick-Smith.
So that, we're taking out the whole balance and it's going to be zeroed out? So
Yes.
is that fund going to be eliminated then?
Yes, we can eliminate it at that time. Or Stephanie doesn't eliminate it. She calls we'll keep it out there, but we'll just be able to track back if we
There's no
have.
money going
Right,
back into it from
right,
anything.
absolutely.
Mr. Gregg?
So what about future maintenance costs?
We will have to look at that on an ongoing basis, but this is what we're going to use at the time. We haven't discussed what that would look like or who would do that on an ongoing basis.
Okay. So we potentially would use, or would we use this account to refill it for future maintenance? Or you're saying not necessarily?
No, because those are basically funds that were raised for streetscape, so they are very specific. So that is why this is one of the only things we could use that for, so we thought that we would exhaust those funds first.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay. My last piece is please prepare an ordinance to appropriate from the unappropriated balance $20,000 arbitrator services. So whenever we have to use legal counsel outside of our law office here, I am assuming this is for the recent union contracts that we just negotiated?
Yes, that is. We still have a contract that has not been closed yet, still in the negotiating process, so that is to cover any additional fees that we may have to use for that outside counsel.
Anybody have any questions? All right, that is all I have.
Mr. Gregg, oh, sorry, I'd like to bring something back up from the safety perspective, if I can. I had, last week when we had the couple that came in speaking about fireworks and them being shot off in their front yard and such, I had asked Council Edwin Mack if he could do some research. Is it illegal to shoot off fireworks? Is there ordinance or code, or is it anything against the law? And he did a little research, so he would like to present us with some information if he would.
Much, Councilman. Would you like me to go up there?
Sure, whatever best for you.
I'll pass pass out materials, kind of with the laws here. I got two different things. I'll start at different ends here. Thank you, Councilman. I know this was an issue that came up at the last meeting, and, you and I have been in communication about what the applicable law is here in Massillon with respect to fireworks. And these two documents really kind of summarize the legal landscape as it applies here in the city. The first document was provided by the chief, and it was prepared by Deputy Chief Meyer, just generally summarizing what the position of the Massillon Police Department is with respect to enforcement and what the requirements are here locally. The second document is the actual laws then that are going to apply in more specificity as to when can someone discharge fireworks from their property and what are the actual requirements. And this is a summary, but I think this put this in a pretty good format. There are specific dates which a person can legally discharge fireworks on their property in the city of Massillon. It's not year-round. The other requirements that are going to apply have to do with the distances between spectators and people who are under the age of 18. 150 feet is going to be a pretty important requirement for any aerial-type fireworks. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be 150 feet necessarily away from your neighboring property, but from other people, that is going to be the requirement for ones that go in the sky. Ones that just make noise, firecrackers, that's going to be 50 feet. So those are kind of the spatial requirements in addition to the dates themselves. There are additional requirements on top of that. If it's a rural area, if there's livestock, that's going to be a requirement for obvious reasons. Another requirement that's going to be important to be cognizant of that may not be initially, when you think about it, is applicable is the alcohol restriction, right? We've all been around different 4th of July parties, but persons in possession of alcohol cannot be using fireworks. And that's a common thing, we all know. Certainly somebody who's under the influence of alcohol is going to be prohibited as well, but it is possession. Our city is governed by state law with respect to the requirements for fireworks. Certain municipalities have enacted different requirements, and they can. That's something Massillon could do, but I think that we've had pretty good success. Our police department's very well aware of what these requirements are, as you can see from the policy paper they posted. But hopefully this is informative in communicating and discussing this with your constituents. I don't profess to be a legal expert on firework law, but I can do whatever I can to answer any questions.
Thank you very much for doing what you did. Thank you very much. And the thing to allude to the rest of the group was, I had driven by last week after the meeting by the home that was being discussed, who was lighting off the fireworks. They still had all the boxes left over, the remnants from their fireworks still out in the front yard. And then I believe I'd driven by the house on Friday, and they were still out in the front yard Friday. There were probably about 8 to 10 firework boxes out in the front yard. And also I had a brief conversation with code enforcement during the week about something else, and they were actively involved with going to that individual's home to deal with some issues with broken windows and high grass and such. So it's a typical case of 2 well-manicured homes besides, and with a not very well-manicured home in between. So, anyway, thanks.
Yep.
Mr. Gregg?
Thank you, Mr. Bagley. So does Ohio law supersede local, or is it the other way around?
The Ohio law allows municipalities in this specific area to effectively supersede the state law if they want to. We could, if the city so desired, completely outlaw fireworks. I think this has been discussed in previous councils, actually, when this law went into effect in 2022. And at that time, I believe, and you were there, you correct me, but I believe the city of Massillon decided not to go that route and try to implement the state law, and that's what the police department's been doing.
So anything with our law that might conflict with Ohio law, ours takes precedence.
We would have to do it again. Like, if there's something on the books now, the law that's been put in place in 2022 is going to prevail. There could be something in our ordinances from like the 60s or something like that, but the state law that went in effect in 2022 is going to be the law. They are legal in Massillon under the state statute. If 22 to the present wanted to make a change, you could.
Okay.
If that makes sense, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a little rambling, but.
Mr. Ray?
Thank you, Mr. Peckley. So what is the charge that a person can get if they go outside of these parameters? Like, is a misdemeanor? I mean, how does that work? Because, I mean, I believe me and my wife, we looked this up a while back because our dog goes like real panicky when fireworks are going in our neighborhood. They're like going. So I know that a lot of people are irritated with them past 11 o'clock. So I've definitely heard fireworks past 11 o'clock. So what does our constituents have to do? Do they just call the police and then they just go from there?
Yeah, yes. So to the first question, what would be the charge? It would certainly be a misdemeanor of some kind, but I want to stress this alcohol provision, right? We have alcohol, or we have fireworks that are going on at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, somebody's probably got a drink, right? That's a first-degree felony. So when these are reported to the police, that's going to be something that would be germane that they would want to know. And first-degree felony is the highest felony there is. Then that goes into your second question. Yeah, report to the police, call, the non-emergency number. They have systems in place to deal with these. And again, thanks to the chief for getting me this information for tonight.
Thank you.
Mrs. Creamer?
So the concern that was brought to us, was there a violation or not? Because I believe, I don't recall hearing like there were spectators outside. Because based on Ohio law, there has to be, if it's an aerial device, it can't be discharged within 150 feet from spectators. So is that the catch then with the concern from just why nothing, like there was no citation or nothing that took place?
I don't know,
is that the
Councilwoman.
catch?
I don't know the factual circumstances.
Because they were in the house, and that's why the
It's not 150 feet from a house, it's 150
Correct,
feet
it's a
from
Correct.
spectator, so that was the piece possibly that they were told to come to council to possibly, for us to look at things. John, am I understanding it?
As I read here, yes, it would be spectators,
Okay.
but, I mean, is that spectator even the person who's shooting off the firework, the lightee? And is that a spectator? So, well, yeah, then no one could. So, unfortunately, I think we're gonna go down a big rabbit hole if we dig too deeply into this issue. And, unless you completely ban fireworks from the city, there's always gonna be this issue. We just wanna have competent, responsible people lighting them off.
I think that's
Being
fair. I
respectful
think
of
that's a
our
good way to
neighbors.
say it, councilperson. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Right.
I think the time limits, you think about what's enforceable from the police when they get these calls, and you guys know how it is on the 4th, how many calls they get. Are people doing it drunk? Are people doing it after the hours? I mean, that's going to draw a response for sure.
And those are the simple ones, the simple black and white. Mr. Ray?
Thank you, Mr. Bagley. I don't want to keep everybody, but just I think more importantly, I think it's about awareness. I think a lot of people don't know that it stops at 11. Maybe they don't. I mean, they can't because they hear other fireworks going off and they say, hey, so it becomes like a competition in the air or something like that or whatever. But I think that we should make an effort to inform, first and foremost. The bucket of water thing is important. I mean, if you're not sitting there, I mean, if I had a bonfire out back, I got to have my hose out. You know what I mean? And you have a hose out or your fire can't go to a certain length when people burn mattresses. But no, anyway. But no, so I think, being informative and letting people know what these rules are, because, like, I don't think everybody Googles them unless they're irritated by it.
I think that's a good, perceptive observation. I'll leave these extra copies with Diane.
Thank you.
If any of you guys want to distribute them to your constituents.
definitely.
Happy to help.
Thank you, Mr. Mack, that was very helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Diane, will you make sure those get to Councilman Markham and Councilman Cunningham?
Did you get the law sheet?
Thank you.
All right, is there anything else for the meeting this evening?
I'd just like to
Dan?
make a general comment. I was leaving or going to Chase Bank today on my lunch hour, and I don't know who did it, administration, streets and highways, street department, whatever, but the side of the Duncan Jewelers Bank, Jewelers Building looks so much better that it's been painted the same color as the siding. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kudos to administration. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, anything else? Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned.